So, hi guys, welcome to a new paranormal video. And today we will be going through some horror stories. So, let's jump in. By the way, these are all going to be real horror stories. So, paranormal experiences are something that we all have had at some or the other time. Some more, some less, but I think everyone has had some or the other feeling of supernatural, and I think it happens the most when you're not prepared for it and when you're at your most vulnerable situations. So, today we are going to read 10 real life horror stories, and I wanted to do real life horror stories from India so me and my audience can also relate to it. So, yeah, number one would be Baby Just Won't Stop Crying. So, this story is by Sudatta M. And she or he says that in 2014, I used to share an apartment with two girls in Navi Mumbai. We all had erratic work hours. A laminated magnetic photo of Hanuman had been left by the landlord on the softboard. I'm sure each one of us know Hanuman, but in case you don't, that's a deity in India. So it's a god who we worship in India. So his photo was there on the softboard, okay? And it just used to fall off randomly and we'd find it on the floor several times a day. Interesting. But we never saw it falling in front of us. Naturally, we checked if it was wind, pressure from banging doors, or some other plausible reason for it. We didn't find any. No reasons they got for this. So during the housewarming party, one of our friends mentioned that the energy of the house seemed off. He asked us to cleanse the energy with sage and change the direction of the magnet. That took care of the falling photo, but a few weeks later, a new problem began in my bedroom. It is scary when things turn up to your bedroom. No, you're okay with it. Okay. Whenever I was alone at home in the night, on call with friends, they would hear sounds of a baby crying in the background and ask me who was crying in my house. It happened several times and I was losing my sleep and getting frightened, obviously. Before I moved out of the house, I started staying at my uncle's house in Santa Cruz whenever my roommates worked night shifts. So this is all that we got from him or her, and we don't know if she changed the house or anything, but she or her friends could hear baby cries, especially on phone or like equipments, I'm guessing. So that's horrifying. Okay, our next story is Where's the Lift Man? Okay, title seems interesting. This story is by Nikita. Okay, so Nikita says that in the Indian Bulls Finance Center building in Mumbai back in 2015. So the story is in 2015 in Mumbai. So in the India Bulls Finance Center building in Mumbai back in 2015, DNA and Hindustan Times had their offices in the same tower, 11th and the 9th floor respectively. DNA and Hindustan Times both are newspaper companies. So often photographers would cover parties late at night and return to office to download the photos. They'd say that they sent spirits in the elevator and it would randomly stop on the 10th and 12th floor. Doors would open and shut, but nobody would enter. So that's itself horrifying. Okay. Once a photographer from DNA was leaving in the wee hours, like in strange hours, and the elevator stopped on the 10th floor. When the door opened, a liftman entered. There wouldn't be any at that hour generally, and stared at the photographer, who got terrified and got off on the 9th floor. He waited for the Hindustan Times photographer to finish his work and left with him. Ghost stories floated around of somebody who had died on the 12th floor during the construction of the tower, and apparently it was his spirit, but who knows? Interesting. So sometimes this could happen, guys. Sometimes it could be earthbound spirits, and we all know this, that if you die strangely and if you are not aware that you are already dead, then things might happen. But what scares me personally is not human spirits, but what if there is something inhuman and more? And I think there is, because that's what Indian culture, that's what Tantra is all about. So I am guessing there is a higher power or higher entities which are present, and that is kind of scary. Like, that is beyond our understanding, of course. So, okay, we'll go to another story. Let me know if you guys want me to like do more research on Tantra and get an episode on that. But that will be like really intense. So yeah, give this video like a good amount of likes so that I get motivated to do it. I'm not gonna give an aim or anything, but just give me like some likes to keep your girl motivated. So yeah. Okay. Next story is found my dead grandfather in the attic. So we all know that our near and dear ones have always like some other, not always, of course not always, like do, but some other time they have visited us. So if a near and dear one of us have died anytime, there are certain times when we feel their presence because they were our loved ones, and it's difficult. Even we are in the habit, and even they get in a habit of being in this earth. So most of the time, from my paranormal experiences or what I have observed, I would say that most of the time it's earthbound spirits that are around us. Sometimes they want to communicate, sometimes they don't. But if it's more than a human entity or something demonic or something like that, then maybe they do want to communicate because they need that power or energy. And usually what I've observed mainly from the ghost videos, mainly from Sam and Colby's videos, I would say that usually an earthbound spirit is usually like, go from this place, we don't want to talk. Usually that's the reaction on spirit boxes. A spirit box is basically an instrument where you can hear, there are radio frequencies and you can hear other voices which we can't hear with our ear normally. So okay, sorry for that if you got scared. Okay, so yeah, basically usually what I was just trying to say is that you get to hear conversations like go away or we don't want to talk, something like that in spirit talker, if it's a human entity. If it's not, if it's a demonic entity or if it wants your power or energy, they will usually give a positive response and be really interactive, is something I am not sure though, I think. So okay, found my dead grandfather in the attic, and dead in like quotes. So basically found my grandfather in the attic. He was already dead. So okay. This story is by Rick Banerjee. So Rick says that I was 7 years old and it was Durga Puja. And my family decided to go pandal hopping after midnight. I'm guessing this is in Calcutta. So at 11:30 p.m. my mom asked me to go downstairs and wait with my dad. When everybody had gathered downstairs, I was missing. They started looking for me and even the neighbors gathered around. My mom thought I must be in the washrooms upstairs and went upstairs to look for me. Instead, she heard my laughter from the attic adjacent to the terrace. She went upstairs and heard me saying, "Give me the ball, otherwise how will we play?" Right then she saw a ball bounce towards me. She picked me up and rushed downstairs and asked my dad to lock the attic. I have no memory of how I got to the attic or playing with anyone. Many years later, she confessed that she saw me playing with the spirit of my grandfather there. So like I was saying, sometimes our near and dear ones do pay a visit to us. So there's nothing to actually get scared of it, honestly, but yeah. Like if you see the dead, you of course will feel frightened, I guess. So yeah, but these are just two different realms actually, spirit realm and our realm. I personally think it's a parallel shift. We'll go into intense discussion in some other video. So today is a story time video. Okay. Next story is met Mandakini on our way to Nandi Hills. Oh my god, I've been to Nandi Hills myself. That's in Bangalore. So, okay, interesting. I got my first proposal in not first but second I think proposal in Nandi Hills. So, this story is by Rahul Shetri. So Rahul Shetri says, in 2018, my sister and I decided to drive to Nandi Hills from Bengaluru one weekend. So we left at 3:30 a.m. It was an hour's drive and Google Maps deviated from the highway and took us through a string of small villages. Desolate roads, quiet homes, set apart from each other. Out of the blue, we saw a woman in white with wet hair. On the road, so the road is... Okay, never mind. So, on the road. She was wearing a lot of gold bangles, necklace and something around her waist. I mean, she wasn't carrying any water or goods. She was just there at this absurd hour, all by herself. So this person has written that this woman was giving vibes of Mandakini in Ram Teri Ganga Maili. If you guys can relate, I have not watched Ram Teri Ganga Maili, so I don't know. But in case you guys can understand. So that is the vibe that this lady was giving, and she was wearing white and had her hair wet. Okay, she was standing there all by herself. We didn't stop and zoomed past her. It was failed adventure. Nandi Hills was closed that day because there was some cycle race. We had to head back. That's it. We carried 2 bottles of water in the back seat, and when we reached for them, we found them both empty. Neither of us had drank any so far, and there was no sign of any leakage. We freaked out, obviously. Later, we did a major puja to ward off the spirits. You can't ignore such things. Luckily, the people at Nandi Hill suggested an alternate route via the highway and we escaped without another scary detour. Okay, that could be scary. I mean, I guess the spirit was just thirsty. That is just so sad though. I mean, maybe she died in such a circumstance that no one gave her water or something like that, because that would be really sad. Okay, we will do one more horror stories, guys, and then I'm going to end this video. Hopefully you guys liked this video. If you would like me to do more stories or elaborate like longer stories, do let me know down in the comments. Yeah, like and subscribe, man. What are you doing? If you're watching my video, like and subscribe. Even if you don't like my video, yeah, you better. Okay, next story. At the speed of flashlight. I was about 16, so this story is by it's by Chandni Sehgal. Chandni says that I was about 16 and had been out for a friend's birthday and came home with 2 of my friends for a sleepover. We were sitting in my balcony at about 2:30 a.m. and a third friend was in the living room, adjoining the balcony, speaking on the phone. So this third friend was in the living room speaking on the phone. A few minutes later, we saw a weird flashing light, and seeing as we were 16-year-old girls brought up on a diet of horror movies, and it was nearly 3 a.m. We rushed to get back inside. Our friend followed us wordlessly. We ran into my bedroom, locked the door, and the floodgates opened. She began, breathlessly to tell us how she had looked up from her phone call and found herself staring into someone's or something's eyes. Okay, she freaked out and told the person she was talking to, "Oh my god, something is looking at me." Staying on the phone, she stood up to call us and saw us walk towards her. It's been 14 years and she swears by what she saw. As for us, we tried to reason that the flashing light could be a reflection of the headlights, but I live on the 8th floor. Random torchlights and that we imagined it, but she's convinced she saw something. This is the third friend who was talking on the phone and she saw someone or something in front of her. Okay. Weirdly, this was around the time my next door neighbor had passed away after a long illness. Okay. Eventually the sounds and feelings disappeared, or perhaps my fear did. We'll never know. So this is one more thing, like we do not really know, so we cannot clearly say. But guys, if you don't watch Sam and Colby, do watch them. You guys will get a lot, because they started as skeptic, and I myself am not a skeptic. I'm kind of a believer, because I've had my personal experiences, not much but some few, and I'm quite a spiritual person, so I believe in other realms. And yeah, I just believe, I just know that it exists. So I'm a believer, but definitely I'm open to debunking and knowing more. And I only believe in logicality. So this is logical, because when you die, you just do not understand suddenly that things are gone. And it's logical, it makes sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, then I don't know, but it makes sense. So that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. It means so much to me that you're watching this video, and please do give a like if you like my content, and that will really motivate me, really like make me happy. So yeah, thank you so much, and see you in the next video.